We're back. Welcome to the Performance Matters podcast. I'm your host, Matrixx. We are joined today by LSU strength conditioning coach, AK Ashley Kowalewski. Did I say that right? That was close.
Kowalewski, but yeah, sure.
Yeah.
AK,
Okay.
that's why it
AK.
goes. That's why it gets shortened.
I was close. First off, this episode is brought to you by Pete Methner Photography, the premier sportsographer in the Niagara region. If you want to reach out to him for all your sport photography needs, you can reach him at petemethodphotography@gmail.com. So big shout out to Pete, and keep it local because that's what we're about in Niagara. Okay, kicking things off. For those who don't know you, AK, quick breakdown, who you are, what you're about, what you do. Shoot.
Dang. All
Damn.
right. Well, my name is Ashley Kowalewski. People call me AK. I don't think anybody in this industry calls me Ashley. But I'm a strength and conditioning coach at LSU. I've been here, this will be my third year. So, um, oh, where do I even start with that? I've got indoor volleyball and women's tennis, and they're great, and I love them. I've had women's tennis for the
Good,
longest,
good
actually, because
diversity.
I know, right? Came over, actually took an internship position here first, a part-time internship after stepping down as an associate director at another institution. Was gonna kind of get out of strength and conditioning altogether, and had the opportunity to come here um, in a part-time position role, and chose to. So ended up working with baseball for a while, and eventually that evolved in about 3 months. That evolved into other coaches being like, "Oh, she's here. Like, why are you here? What's going on? Like, can we like use her over here?" So admin was awesome to me. Created a position on a Sunday afternoon, offered me, and we rolled. So I'm really, really blessed to be where I'm at. Been in the college game now for, oh, I don't know, 6 years. Before that was at the NSCA's headquarters in Colorado Springs. Worked there, ran their performance center. Before that was an intern there. Did the exact same thing at the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs. Loved it. And way back, what feels like an eternity ago, was a college athlete at the University of Oklahoma and threw the javelin for Brian Bluetrick. That's kind of where my journey started under Adam Kuehl. He was my strength coach, my first strength coach, and was just my guy. Taught me how to
Yeah.
lift. I had never done a clean in my life, never done, never done anything truly, like truly training in my life. And I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the process. Adam was actually a thrower at Arizona, so understood a lot about the throws in general, but also translating it with the lifts. And he could speak our language. He was just awesome. And I still talk to the guy. He's still probably one of my favorite people. We will like go back and forth and train still. He'll text me, "Hey coach, what you got today?" And I'm like, "Oh, like we're sharing workouts." So it's really cool to still have him involved in my life as I took that path into strength and conditioning.
Yeah.
Other than that, that's just what I do. I guess that's not really who I am.
Exactly.
Super outdoorsy human being. Love to be outside. I love people. Connection is like probably one of the biggest things in my life. You know that just because we literally started just communicating via social media. You were like, "Hey, you're kind of cool. Do you want to get on and just like a Zoom and just like hack it up?" And that connection's involved into a year, what is it, 5 years now, 4 years now of a
Yeah, it's been at
friendship?
least 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
Holy
so
shit.
connection is one of my favorite things. I think that's in general what I am, and or who I am in this life, is a conduit. I love to connect other people. I love to be that person that, "Oh, you know this guy? I know this guy. Cool. Like we have a connection here." And then same deal with as far as like education goes. I love being on the education side of what we do with our interns, with athletes, like with coaches. I love to be on the education side and really pushing that forward, and what is it? Pushing the needle, whatever it is that
Move,
they
yeah.
say, right?
Push,
Moving
yeah,
the
push,
needle.
move, just move the goddamn thing.
I'll tap the needle. Yeah, yeah, whatever I got to do with that. But that's really more of who I am. And then my little side gig, I do coffee. I love coffee in every facet of life. I like taking people to coffee. I like connecting over it. I like roasting it myself. Um, I've had a lot of fun with that lately. And I have dogs. That's it. They're my life. But that's that's pretty much it.
Simple, simple, but efficient. Yo, yo, trust me, for those listening, big coffee things coming up. Big coffee
Big,
things coming up.
big.
Yo, best roast in the South. Or
Sure,
wherever it
sure,
ends up. Maybe,
sure.
maybe Central America, wherever she ends up.
Yeah, wherever.
No limits. Um, I really want to learn more about you today. I can't wait, sis. I'm excited. Um,
Yes,
I'm so
yes.
fucking excited. Okay, so you've worked with athletes at various stages. So, in your opinion, what do you think separates good from great with athletes?
Mm.
Er,
Just it's again like super simple. It's just the ability to be coached.
Mm.
That's all. It's just coachability. Um, I have seen some really phenomenal athletes that have hit their peak in life just because they don't want to hear anything that anybody has to say to them. And uh, don't get me wrong, talent is talent. Talent will,
Mm.
and that's one of my least favorite sayings is hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. That's
It's
bullshit.
bullshit.
Actually, I think that's actual
It's bullshit.
trash. I think that talent will always reign supreme. But what I've seen these last couple years as I've really established myself and gotten to create buy-in with some really great athletes, watching them and their mindset change when it comes to being coached in different ways has, I think, made all the difference in their ability to execute, right? In everything, their ability to execute and communicate with professors and other teammates and their coaches and just in life, right? And that's my goal is to make them successful in every realm. So I think what separates good from great is just your ability to take feedback and internalize it to benefit you.
Yeah, no, it's. I love when they say that talent bullshit. It's like, sorry, man. Like
I know.
if you watch hockey, like Connor McDavid, like McJesus was just he picked his parents well, man. I'm sure he's very
Yeah.
coachable too, but like
Yeah.
really that phrase is gonna be for like the middle of the pack type people. Like if you're really talented,
Yeah.
like the rest of the shit we're doing is probably not that big of a deal. And if you're very low end,
Hmm.
can't help you. If you're, it's like that gray area we're kind of fighting in the middle of the pack. That this might give you an edge up. The rest of the shit is like if you're that talented, there's nothing I can do or say it's gonna fucking change that.
Yeah.
You're just built for that shit, man.
What
So
is that? DK? Is it DK Metcalf that just eats candy like
yeah,
before and after his training?
yeah,
He's like, yeah, I eat like
doesn't
7 gallons of Starburst and like Sour Patch Kids and like,
hey,
nice guy. Like, cool.
you get your salary, then it works for you, man. Like I'm not gonna say shit. Like keep going, man. Like have McNuggets if you want. I don't give a rat's ass, bro. So then again, you said obviously the coachability and all that kind of stuff. So then, what do you think for athletes is one misconception that those athletes have about high performance?
That more is better. Better is better. Right? Like that's just that's the thing that I still battle now because obviously we have new people coming in all the time and they don't think it's ever enough.
Yeah,
And what I love to try and hammer home is no, like I also don't believe in minimally effective dosages. I think that's trash also. I think that that's that
a lot
we're
of
undercooking at
buzzwords,
that
eh?
point. Yeah,
A lot of buzzwords in the industry.
I don't like that. I don't like that. Oh, let's just do enough. No, we also are responsible for getting them acclimated to high volumes and worst case scenarios. So I think there's a middle ground in everything. But more is not always better, right? Better is better.
Yeah,
And what I've stressed with a lot of the athletes that I work with now is if you don't recover from the absolute trash that I rain down on you some days, you're training all that hard work that you put in is for naught. Your ability to take care of yourself, learn those great recovery methods, take advantage of all the really cool stuff we have here when it comes to recovery.
yeah,
We have great athletic trainers, we have student interns, we have a recovery center, right? It's footballs, but we can use it.
yeah,
So understanding all those things and just making sure that at the end of the day, they're learning how to eat, sleep, hydrate, rest, and recover on top of getting the best possible stimulus for training. Because if I'm not
right.
doing that, I mean, I'm not doing my job, right? If I'm just like, oh, just go home and eat, sleep, rest, recover. No, we're really going to talk about how you can benefit yourself, right? Go take a walk after dinner. Like, it's still important that you move your body. Movement is medicine in a lot of ways. But at the end of the day, making sure that I'm monitoring their loads, that they're communicating any extra that they do or want to do with me so that we can make that make sense. Because I'm all down for a little more, right? I'm down for a little more. That's fine. And we'll find that threshold at which you're close to breaking and we'll pull back, right? Or sometimes we overtrain and then we back off. But I do believe in the concept of super compensation, which
Yeah,
is we train to a certain extent and essentially we do have a drop off, but then our baseline is increased and raised. So
yeah,
um looking at all those things, that's the biggest thing for me is that more is not better, better is better.
yeah. It really comes down to like the whole job is yes results, but it's like what does define what results is, and then
Yeah.
furthermore, it's like your job really is to elicit is to introduce stimulus to elicit a response for adaptation at some
Hmm.
regard, and then balance that with the chaos of all the shit we can't control outside the 1 hour or so we have of them for the day. And so, like, how do you account for all those fucking stressors that are also impacting the holistic approach for the athlete to then regenerate and perform? And then usually for them, it's like you check the box. Okay, I trained, I practiced. You train like a wild animal, but you eat and sleep like a fucking child.
Yeah.
And then you start asking questions as to why. And then they're saying, "Oh, I don't think I'm doing enough," or "I'm not." It's like, well,
Yeah.
I believe if you truly think that you're doing too much of one thing, you're not doing enough of something else, and vice versa.
Mm.
If you don't feel like you're doing enough of something, it's probably doing too much of something else. So
Yeah.
it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, guys, like, it's sets the reps aside and all that kind of shit. Again, there's a lot of science into it, but
Sure, sure.
at the most like fundamental level, it's like it can be simple. It's not, it's simple, not easy. It's just, guys, introduce a stimulus, raise your baseline, and what you do is what you can recover from. So it's like make sure you actually hammer the shit that really no one's going to tell you to do, right?
Yeah.
Like, especially working with like teenagers or young adults. Okay, so then if you're looking to build, let's say, you're trying to have those conversations. When you're building trust with an athlete, what's the thing, like how do you kind of approach that initial conversation?
It's just open lines of communication.
Yeah.
And I'm incredibly demanding just as a person in my life. Like that's just kind of how I go about. I'm pretty demanding of the relationships that I've got in whatever way, right, suits that relationship. So with the athlete, it's demanding of like I demand great communication from you.
Yeah.
It's not up to you. Like it's not like, oh, well, I'll tell her if. No, that's how we start and finish the session every day. Is like I demand feedback from you. I demand good communication from you because that's how I figure out if what I'm doing is doing what we need to do. And not all of them do the same thing. I've got 18 bodies that look very different. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't think any two of them are built the same. So with that great communication comes not just, I like to say the illusion of choice, but there's a lot of choice. They get to tell me how they feel, and I've got some that'll never put a barbell on their back, that will never bilaterally squat, that may never truly do these, all everything that we're supposed to do. Olympic lifting. I don't do it. I don't do derivatives of Olympic lifts. Not to say I don't believe in them or think that they're great, but for 18 long-limbed athletes that are, it's me, right? And we're rolling through that. I'm not going to take 3 to 6 weeks and build that into my program. I'm going to do the things that I know that will elicit response the fastest or the best, right? Or address the need that we see currently in training. So I think that what they enjoy is that the first thing is that I'm real with them and that I do demand great communication, but you're always going to get the realest out of me. You're not going to get, I don't go around just smacking people like, oh, you're smacking people on the back the whole time. You're doing so good. You're doing so great. Like you're doing such a good job. Ew, that like that's all meaningless, right? I don't enjoy that. I don't enjoy being talked to that way.
Got the ick.
Yeah, coach me, right?
Yeah.
And to me, that means being specific in my praise and being specific in my critiques, right?
Yeah.
So if I didn't like that, why didn't I like it? If I did like it, why did I like it, right? Oh, hey, that's a nice rep. Wow, the depth on that squat was much better than your previous rep, right? Great, easy, right? An easy change. So that's the first thing for me is that I don't have to prove anything to them. I have to provide the best possible program, the best possible coaching, and that means showing up and doing the same thing, right? Demanding great communication, but also giving it right back to them.
Yeah. Be intentful. Just,
That's
just,
it.
yeah. Be intentful and be fucking honest. It isn't. It's simple. Okay. It's not complicated. You know what I mean? How many times a day do you have to adapt your program to fit, to change anything? How many times a day do you have to adapt your program?
14 million. I don't there's so much and to be totally honest with you, I love it. There's a lot of times where I'm like, if I thank God that I had the start that I did within like Paralympic
Yeah.
and adapted sport. It literally is called adapted sport because I love that. I love the initial problem solving. Like, give it to me. Like,
Yeah.
she can't move. She can't externally rotate. She can't rotate at the trunk. She's having issues laterally flexing. Okay, cool. Like, what can we do? How do I, in the next 5 seconds, figure out how to adapt my program for this athlete? And I love it. And I mean, at any given point, I could have 9 to 10 different programs running on the floor. And I think that, again, going back to the buy-in, I think that's the secondary piece of what makes my program easy to buy into is that I'm training you. I'm not training the team, right? I'm training you to make
Yeah.
sure that you're getting the response that you need. Because that's what matters to me, right? That we're getting responses across the board, not just that I chose, well, I obviously chose a back squat, so that has to be a back squat. No, it's a bilateral squat. What would you like to do? Would you like to zercher? Would you like to front squat? Would you like to back squat? Would you like to pit shark? What do you want to do? And what feels good for you? And I've got athletes that have totally bought into zercher squatting, which I did not think that that would happen, but I started doing it, and so I love it. And I went through a phase, and we both did, and they were like, "Are we going to do that?" Like, yeah, you're going to try. And they love it. They're like, the only thing is it's just uncomfy right here on me. I was like, cool. We literally have pads for that. Like we have stuff for that. But letting them explore and experiment and then just critiquing the demand that I make of them. Hey, cool. Since you chose that, here are your sets and reps. Okay, since you chose a rear foot elevated, right? Dumbbell split squat, here are your sets and reps for that. Here's your tempo for that. Here's your isometric for that. And they're like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
Whatever that means. So just the desired response can be achieved like that adaptation can be achieved in multiple ways. And
Right.
I think that that to me is the most fun part of my job is that there is no one way. And I think I learn something different every day from every different athlete, right? Their levers are different. Their freaking genetic makeup is different. Their mental toughness is different. Some of them just hate being uncomfortable, and that's
Yep.
okay. How can
Yep.
I make this athlete get the least amount of uncomfortable and get the most results out of, whatever this is?
How can I make this shitty thing less shitty for
Yeah.
you?
No, really. Like how can I make this 6'4" girl who really struggles getting at least to parallel, how can I get her past parallel so that we're actually getting the desired response that I want when it comes, to this bilateral squat? And picking those things apart and actually looking at their movement and what's comfortable for them, it's possible. You just got to take a second and take a step back. And for me, it comes with losing my ego quite a bit because I'm like, it'd be cool if I was like one of those coaches out there was like, all my kids are squatting 2.5 times their body weight. Like that's the
Oh,
coolest
fuck
ever.
off. Fuck
Yeah,
off.
but like who cares? Like how
Fuck
strong do
off.
you, and I ask them that question all the time. How strong do you actually have to be to play the sport of volleyball? And they're like, I don't know.
I don't think there's no
Me
answer.
either.
There's no
Yeah,
fucking
me
answer.
either. I have
How
no
the fuck do you
idea.
quantify that? Like,
Yeah. But I
oh
will
my
tell you
god.
one thing. You need to be kinesthetically aware. You need to
Hmm.
have a robust tendons, right, in your freaking ankles, knees, hips. Like you got to be ready to go, and your work capacity has to be up to snuff. That's it. Like
Yeah.
everything else I can play with, and we can really look and see what does it look like for different athletes to jump higher. I think sometimes it's different. I don't think there's one way to be. I can't look at this kid and be like, hey, we're gonna do this, 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 and you're gonna jump higher. No, like I don't think that's true.
There's no fucking way. It literally like all we do, and I try to keep this the most possible, is just building capability. That's it.
Yeah,
It's like, can you do the thing you do at the highest level against better people for a longer period of time? And hopefully, if you stay in sport long enough, things are gonna go wrong. Can we just delay the inevitable, and then when that happens, reduce the severity? That's
yeah,
it. Can we just do
yeah.
that, please? You know what I mean? And as for jumping, it's like there's so many component parts. You're biased to how you jump. You have your own pattern of how you do things, like your self organization of how you take off. Like maybe you're more hip dominant, maybe you're more quad dominant. It's ironic because a lot of times you try to go vertically, you're supposed to be more quad dominant, but you're putting these
Yeah.
tall, long limb athletes who are more hip biased into this. It's like it's all different. So it's just like I would never. I can never hang my hat to, oh, we're gonna put like 4 inches on the vert. It's like,
Yeah.
well,
Cool.
how,
Is that going to make
how
you hit the ball harder? Like, what are we,
yeah, like,
what are we actually doing right here?
it's
Which is,
like,
and suffice it to say, though, to me, it's like it's confidence, right?
yeah,
If you're more confident than you were when you walked in this room, we won today.
yeah.
Whether that means that you've increased weight, you've increased your capability, you just feel better. Hey, I did this exact same weight and these exact same reps last week, and I felt like ass, but this week I feel good walking out of here. That's a
It's
win
a
to
win.
me.
Yeah, it's a win. I think it's again, it's so hard in this profession. I think Miles says it best. He's like, I love the industry, I hate the profession. I think he said
Yeah.
that something like that.
Yeah.
Or is it no? I think he said, I love the profession, I hate the industry for that same fucking reason. There's no way
Uh,
to
Either way
quantify.
makes sense to me.
Yeah, one of those two ways. It's
Sure,
just
sure.
because like, how do you quantifying like what your value is and how you, especially in team sports, it's just too chaotic. You can't
Yeah.
control fucking anything to say that that's the thing that made them do that thing better. It's like
Mm,
you can try to analyze like everyone's fucking horny about force plates. We use them. I get it. Totally understand. There's some things we
sure.
can use to value. Like all those things are nice, but how do you know for certain, like, what is your KPI that is justifying your value? You know what I mean? For
Yeah.
me, it's going to be like, they're showing up, they're positive, and they feel better. Done. I'm
Hmm.
happy with that. I'm cool with that.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
You feel better. That alone, that means you're building some self trust. You believe in what you're doing, which means you're likely to have a better performance because of how you're feeling. That
Yeah.
alone is more powerful to me. All these other things will, rising tide, all ships. That's going to help you have better
Yeah.
intent anyway. We're good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm chill with it.
Exactly. But that's my whole thing with really both of my teams. When I got here, and it's just like, oh, here's this person, whatever, figure it out, like, whatever. Try to buy into what she's doing. I can do that on my own. I can create the buy-in. I can present information to them. I can always be growing. That's the biggest thing to me is that I should be growing. I should be getting better. I should be seeking out people who know more than me to bring great things into what we're doing. And then when they come to me in pain and they leave pain free, or they come to me and they say, "Hey, this really bothers me," and we find ways around that pain. They feel better. They notice those things, like you said. If they come in and they feel better than when they left, or I'm sorry, they feel better when they left, or during their performance, they just feel better in general. Or I have coaches telling me, "Hey, like we used to struggle to get through the fifth set. Now we look the best that we've ever looked in our fifth sets. Like, what's up with that? Like, are they just fitter?" Yeah, that's part of it, sure,
Yeah,
right?
maybe.
Like
Yeah,
they can
maybe.
stay engaged for longer, right? Their capacities. I don't want just their physical capacities to increase. I want their mental capabilities to increase, right? I want them to be able to handle stress better. I'm
Hmm.
not trying to remove stressors from them. I'm like, no, I want you to be insanely good at handling hard things, difficult conversations, difficult exercises, difficult situations, right? What does that look like for you? And how can I help you increase your capacity for shit that's going to
Yeah.
happen in your life?
Yeah, it's we just say it's exposing weak points. Like, don't have this avoidance strategy where I feel this, do this. Okay, we're just gonna avoid this altogether. It's like,
Yeah.
no, like you probably look good here, look good there, but you look messy in the middle. Let's expose those weak points and find a way to navigate through them because it's a good learning opportunity. Like, okay, you found something that you can, it's a low hanging fruit you can work on, and
Mm,
then literally the mental robustness that comes from just working and navigating through those weak points establishes self-confidence, knowing that you are capable of doing that hard stuff you're uncomfortable doing, and then it just stacks another layer. And ironically, we were talking to another guy the other couple of months ago on the podcast. It literally changes the brain chemistry too. Like apparently your
yeah,
myelin
it
sheaths,
does.
like you add like layers to your myelin sheaths. I was like, that's something quantifiable they can kind of latch onto. So it's like if you want to say the more hard shit you do and overcome it, you actually thicken your insulation. Like I don't know what that fucking means to you, but hold on to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
There's actually a part of your brain that grows. I'm not gonna even try to say it because I'm not gonna say the part correctly, but there is literally a part of your brain that grows when there's like something you don't want to do and you do it anyway. It happens when people are dieting, like it happens when people are doing like it's like a David Goggins approach. Like
yeah,
when you do hard stuff and you do it and you don't want to do it and you don't enjoy doing it, there are pieces of that that grow. And I think they've tied, I need to look this part of the brain up. I need to look it up, but they basically tied that to your will to live, which is crazy. They're like,
that's
by the way,
nuts.
this part of your brain is incredibly important, and it is legitimately part of the reason that your will to live increases. It's apparently bigger in people that have whatever lived quite a long time, and people in blue zones, all these things. But I mean, to me, half the time that I'm training, I'm like, I don't know that I want to do this thing, but we're going to do it anyway. I hate running and I run almost every day now. I still hate it. I'm good at it and I hate it. Like I do. I hate it with everything in me. It's so boring. But my mental fortitude's never been higher because I will make myself do it, or I will think of the things that I'm like, man, I don't want to do this, but I can physically.
Yeah,
So how fortunate am I? And if I can get the athletes to buy into the same concept, like I have them doing it today. Half of them are sitting there doing an overhead press, which is
yeah.
not the craziest thing ever, but they're sitting there doing it and they're like, I hate this. And I was like, nice. Thanks for telling me. Continue on. You got four more sets. Like, good shit.
So what you're saying is David Goggins is going to live until he's 200.
You know what? He actually might, and that should so many people should be terrified because of
That'd be
that.
fucking
He's
incredible.
gonna be rucking or like running
Yep.
100 miles at night by himself in the wilderness, and just his brain's gonna be exploding out the back of his skull.
That's
It's
all I got
crazy.
from that conversation. It'll be like this. So what you're saying is that motherfucker is
Will
gonna
live
fucking that guy's gonna
forever.
outlive fucking the Japanese, man. That's
Hey,
crazy.
unless one of his adventures takes him out one day, that I think is very true. I think he probably will live forever.
Nobody kills me, I kill me.
Yeah, basically.
You don't kill me, I kill me. That's fucking nuts. So then, I guess building on this, what advice would you give to younger women trying to break into this high performance field?
Find somebody you look up to and chase what they have.
Dope.
Like
That's a
that's
fucking bar.
I mean, truly, I've had that in my career. I've had that in my personal life. I continue to find people that inspire me, and I find somebody who has what I don't, and I chase that. Hey, like whether that's social skills, believe it or not, I haven't always been the gem that I am today. Like
You're
when
such
it
a
comes
gem.
to, I don't know, when it
Such
comes
a
to
gem.
having conversations and how to really build great relationships. And I think to people who don't know me, it can look like, oh, like she just cares, oh, well, she just wants to know this person. She just wants to have their name in her mouth, or she wants to just no, I legitimately love creating relationships because I've learned how to do it and how to really care about people and to either pour into their lives or just remember something stupid. Like, hey, I just saw you were on this trip. How was it? That's great, right? I'm super happy that we may not get to connect all the time, but I pay attention and you
Yeah.
follow up and you make that make sense in your life. So I think that's the biggest piece to me, and I'm just going to leave it at that and leave it simple. Is that find somebody who has what you don't and what you want, and chase that, and make sure that you're constantly asking questions and staying curious as to how what they have, even though you may not get there the same way.
Yeah.
How can that benefit you in your life, and how can you use that experience or that person or their wisdom to get you where you want to be?
Yeah. Simple. Just give a shit. Just be
Kinda,
present. Yeah. You just
kinda.
be present. Give a shit. It's always yeah. It's always crazy. It's always like the same simple answer. So then, circling back to the athletic side of things. So obviously we hear a lot about data, force plates,
Mm,
VBT, whatever other a GPS, whatever you want
yes,
to fucking
yes.
say. How do you make sure it doesn't override coaching intuition?
Mm. I tell my coaches as well. They do care about the numbers, but we're data informed, right? We're not data driven. I heard that forever. Oh, we're data driven.
Evidence
Mm-mm.
based. We're evidence based.
Yeah,
Evidence
no,
based.
yeah. We're just informed, right? And that just means I can look at that data and say, hey, here's what it's showing us. But what is I had a really a coach back in the, I don't even know, 2 years ago probably. She works for a
Yeah.
very, very big time coach. And he said, well, my coaching eye is not matching your data.
Okay.
What do you tell a coach? Yeah, what do you tell a coach when they've won 10 national championships and you're presenting them with this data and telling them they can't or shouldn't do something? And he's like, well, I've won this many times. Why? Like my coaching eye doesn't match what you're showing me. So to me, it just comes with making sure that I understand what the data is actually saying. Because sometimes I think we can be dissuaded by graphs and charts and, oh, well, it looks pretty. Oh, well, then we must be doing the right thing. But as you alluded to earlier, there are outside stressors that are not happening in practice, that are not happening that we can't see, right? Whether that is their classes, they had a boyfriend break up with them, their family, they're going through some family struggles. Those things are actively affecting their performance, and that's numbers we don't have.
Hmm.
So a kid comes in and jumps like trash on the force plates. What was it? I don't know. Was it my training? Like, so now I have to alter my training because they had one, upsetting jump? No, not necessarily. Right? What does that mean? What does it look like? Are they sick? Are they getting sick? Are they recovering from an illness? Are they super stressed out? Um, so to me, it looks like taking care of the data that we do have and making sure that I'm consistent in collecting it and whatever that means. For me, that's usually just velocity based, and then our force plate stuff. I do track loads and I monitor loads in the gym, but for the most part, that's to make sure we're doing enough.
Yeah.
I don't try to pull my coaches back. I'm not trying to take things away from them unless the numbers are obscene. And I'm
Yeah.
talking like way out of this world. Because I think at the end of the day, they've been doing what they've been doing longer than the data's been around.
Yeah.
So it's a give and take on that, I think. So a lot of it is again at making sure that I understand what it's actually saying and then giving them like actual feedback they can use, not just telling them, "Hey, you were high today." What's that mean? Like this drill, and this drill kind of put us over a little bit. Maybe if we could knock 5 minutes off of that drill next time we run it, it would put us at a more manageable load. Great,
Cool.
right? Whatever. There are just little things like that that I don't let it get too big, right? I'm not ever trying
Yeah.
to let the data get too big. As long as the athletes are healthy and they're handling the loads that we're doing well, let them run with it. And then
Yeah.
use everything else to my benefit in the weight room, right? Whether that is the force plates, the velocity-based training, or really any of the other technology that we may or may not use in the training room, right? There's all kinds of stuff that they've got for recovery, as far as recovery goes, going on over there.
Yeah. I feel like it's the question was asked. Okay, this information you have, these trends you have. It's like, does this influence or reject or change the program you have? If not, then disregard the shit. If it does not have an influence on something, and furthermore, you have to understand like what specific metrics are you looking at, and what do you feel the relevance is to what you're chasing, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're doing, like a heavy eccentric phase or some shit, jumps go down naturally. Like
Yeah.
it's natural. So then don't get too lost in the sauce. Like those are just particular moments in times of a cycle that are specific to the time you have with them, which is very little and does not account for everything else. That's just one particular moment in time that accounts for everything else that we can't see.
Hmm.
So does this dictate, refuse, implement, agree, reaffirm? If not, stop wasting fucking time. If you don't understand the data enough, okay, that's fine too. Then maybe brush up on does this even matter? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, does that force plate jump make them better at volleyball?
Hmm.
Probably not. You know what I mean? Like, you can break down the mechanics of the actual jump, and then even if it's a counter movement jump, how relevant is that to like arm swing approach? It's like let's just not get too lost in this shit. And in terms of like managing load, it's like, okay, leave a couple in the tank. We're not gonna set fucking one RMs on this motherfucker. Let's just pick something. Is it challenging? That's gonna be an auto regulation thing that is communicated by you. It's like
Yeah.
if you did 100 kilos today and you had two in the tank, and next week it feels like ass, it's like okay, then you're going down 80. That's fine because that is your training max for the day. That is just a moment in fucking time. And I think
Hmm.
coaches get so fucking horny about this shit, and it
I don't
drives
know.
me fucking insane because it's almost like it goes back to their fucking self worth.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
am my data. I am the chart. I am him or her or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
You're just like, holy fuck, dude.
It's just not that deep. It's not that deep, and it's not
It's
that
not that
important to
deep.
me. Like
It's
the
not
num
that deep.
and it's kind of funny because the athletes, those jump numbers. If those jump numbers go down, I'm AK. I just can't. I don't know what I'm like. Why am I not jumping high? I'm like because we've been doing eccentrics and isometrics for the last 2 weeks. I've put you under an insane amount of load. It's just not happening. The sequencing, everything is off for you right now. Your body's like, what are we doing? I have no clue what's going on. And they don't see that, right? They don't understand that. That doesn't make sense to them because all they've ever known is jump high or get stuffed, right?
Yeah.
Get
Jump
freaking
high
roofed at
good,
the
not
net.
jump high bad.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's just communicating out what is important. And then kind of like I do use when I know that because we can time all that stuff out. I can tell you when you're going to be jumping your highest, right? Assuming everything else has gone right. I can tell you about when you're going to be jumping your highest. So then I'm like hyping them and getting them ready to go. Like, I know you guys are about to freaking jump high. It's October. We're going to be flying in October. And they just get to roll and everybody gets super hyped and it becomes the best part of their day. And then you look back on that. And I'm like, hey, remember when I told you I did not give one single shit about your jumping in the spring or the summer? I just don't. And some coaches do. Some coaches like, well, jump test at every however many phases. I put them on there, but half the time I'm not letting them see their numbers because they're going to get so in their heads about it that it impacts the rest of the training session. And that's just
Yeah.
goofy, right? And I get it. I understand why their jump is important to them. But to me, it's like, hey, at the end of the day, you're jumping high, but at what cost? Is that a harmful thing for you to continue to jump like that and not build the robustness that you need to be able to handle the landings, handle the impact, handle the uncertainty, right? Increase your kinesthetic awareness to where you land on one foot now instead of two. Are you good? Could you handle that? Um, So it's like I said, data informed for sure, but I
Yeah.
never let that get too big that it overpowers what we're doing when it comes to the way that I'm looking at them move and making sure that they feel good, honestly.
Yeah, I think too many coaches. Again, I get it. You're trying to justify your position and your worth and all that shit. But if all you do is you spend so much time just express, 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 and just I'm trying to hammer one thing to the max all the time, and specifically jump. The jump has to be the highest now. It's like you're bashing your head against the hypothetical ceiling. At what point
Yeah.
do you pull the floor a little bit, man? Like you can visit, but you can't live there. If you live there, something's gonna give at some point. You can't just. It's no different than anything else. You can't max out every fucking week. You can't set a PR every fucking month. It's not gonna fucking happen. Especially if you're that skilled already, if you're already that efficient, and economical. It's not gonna happen. You know what I mean? And there's too many factors that influence it. It's just not. It's not possible, right? I think it's just a baseline understanding of like, look, here's where we're at. Here's where we're gonna strive to be. It's gonna get messy in the middle. These things might happen, might not happen, and there's gonna be a lot of chaos that we can't control. But we're gonna take it every day, auto regulate. We'll dose as much as we can based on how we're looking, and we'll just run from there. Assuming you're doing everything right on your own recovery, get some sunlight, drink water, hug your family, all that shit. We will likely get better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's not overcomplicate this shit. You know what I mean? Like we can
Yeah.
look at this on the back end, but really we have no control. Like
Hmm.
zero.
And some of them don't like it. So think about just like the stuff that you really don't enjoy doing, you probably aren't doing with your best effort, right? You may be doing it just
Yeah, you
to
check
make
the
sure that
box.
it gets done. Yeah, to make sure that it's over. And so that to me is again where it becomes so important that I communicate with them and adapt things to fit what they need. Because at the end of the day, if you really hate having a barbell on your back, why would I put a bar on your back? Like that's a
Just
goofy thing. I don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. So there's just it's educating them along the way and teaching them that there's so many other ways to get those things accomplished. And I hate to say that I feel the same way with data, but there's times that I do. I'm like, that data is not reflecting everything that's going on in this athlete's life and everything that even even the aura ring stuff, right? We've got some that have aura rings or whoop bands or whatever. They're like, well, my sleep was a 26% something something. I'm like, okay, one night. Like, okay, cool. What can I help you do right now that's gonna make you feel
it doesn't
better?
fucking matter, man.
Yeah.
Like what? Okay, you play on Saturday. My whoop band said I was 65%. It's okay. Like, tip off's at 6, man. Doesn't matter. Like you
Yeah,
good?
all right.
Yeah.
Go
Okay.
take a nap.
The whistle's gonna blow anyway. Like you good? It's like, were you okay before you had the fucking 65? Before you saw 65% from
Yeah.
some? It's like, oh my god, man. Like,
Some ring. Yeah, you either do it or you
oh
don't, right? And that to me is again what the initial question you asked, what separates good from great? Great people are just gonna make shit happen. Good
yeah,
people are gonna try.
yeah.
Great people are gonna find a way.
Yeah, we simply say it's like good at like I would say the best athletes we've had are the most successful athletes we've had. And again, a lot of these things parallel not just in the weight room, but how they interact with their teachers, their
Hmm.
friends. Like a lot of these things parallel. It's hard to find someone who's so good at one thing and invest so much time and that doesn't have that same mindset or approach to all these other facets of their life.
Yeah.
But we found the best athletes are able to perform regardless of how they feel, knowing that it's just it's a set arbitrary set of rules that you agreed to. It's like, okay, this line is in, that line is out. When whistle ball, we touch ball 3 times. That is the rules that we agreed to. And fucking whistle's gonna blow at 6 o'clock on a Saturday night. That's what we signed up for. It doesn't matter. Everything else, it doesn't matter what's happening. It's like my job is to show up. I am going to perform regardless of how I feel because that is what I'm supposed to do. If you let all
Yep.
this other shit get in the way, it's like, but you agreed to the arbitrary line rules, the whistle
Yeah.
blowing, the 3 touches. Like we've established this, right? So
Yeah.
why are you letting this thing tell you if you are ready to do the thing that it, you know what I mean?
Right.
So
There's always going to be something if you let it. There will
there's
literally always
always
be
something.
something.
Like when's do you think anybody in the Olympic finals at 100%? Who the fuck goes into the biggest competition of their life and says, "Today I feel 100%. Nothing went wrong. I went to bed exactly on time in the same time zone in my bed with my food, I don't feel stressed."
Yeah, I know. I know. Adapt and survive, right? Like that's
Like,
the biggest thing I think with a lot of people, like I don't know, a lot of things today. It's not just athletes, it's everybody, right? Can you show up and can you be consistent? Do you know what that actually means? It doesn't mean that you all the everything else is the same, right? It means you're the same. You showed up with whatever it is, the discipline and the motivation or the whatever it is. You're not always going to have everything right, but you can be that person that shows up and performs anyway. Like you're saying, I agreed to this, I'm going to show up and do it. I don't feel like it, or maybe I do feel like it, or maybe I don't care today, right? Whatever happens, happens. But if you can show up and you can execute, you're fine. There's no amount of data that will that will
No.
make you wrong.
It doesn't fucking matter. It's just like perform regardless of how you feel. Like those things are gonna happen. Become better at like we said earlier. We're not avoiding stress. Like I don't want to get too sore, too
No.
tired. I want to feel this. I need to sleep. It's like there's certain things that are going to be outside of your control. And we had Steve Mesler on the podcast, and he was talking about his Olympic gold medal run in the bobsled. And he literally said, like, I think a week before he was supposed to do his gold medal run, like his parents' basement flooded, and he's overseas or whatever the fuck he was doing. He's like trying to manage the property while getting ready. He's like,
Ugh.
but it doesn't matter. He's like, this shit happens. He's like, it doesn't matter. Like I'm still showing up. I'm like, yeah. Look, you brought a big shiny gold medal home with you.
Yeah, yeah, as you should, right?
Yeah,
Like
as you should.
as you
Like,
freaking should.
what are you gonna do? Just throw it up and be like, ah, fuck, guys, I'm not doing. I can't. Whoop band says 65. The house got flooded. We gotta delay this. Like, let's push it back next month, and we will do the run. It's like, no. So just why don't you just get better at managing chaos?
Yeah.
How do you get better at managing chaos and stress? It's uncomfortable, it's a weak point, it's exposure, and you navigate as best you can, and then you fuck up less every time. You get better
Right.
at it. You just
Right.
fuck up less every time. And I think
Yeah.
that's the whole point. It's like aside from all the specific sets and reps, everyone's going to program differently, everyone's going to train differently, but the whole point, underlying thing is you're going to do things that are foreign to you because it's not your sport, and you're not going to care as much as a strength conditioning staff, performance staff, whatever, as you shouldn't, probably. Like that's your sport, is
No.
your life, or whatever.
Yeah.
You're never going to care as much, but you're going to be exposing yourself to these foreign things that might be like, uncomfortable to you, you might not enjoy. Do you have the mental fortitude and the ability to say to yourself, okay, I'm going to navigate through this to the best of my ability, be open-minded, and then see what happens on the other side, and then do it again, and then do it again, and then eventually you'll be like looking back and you're like, oh, okay, here we are, done. You're just stacking a fucking brick, man. Like
Yeah.
it's I think everyone romanticizes like this winning thing. Like it's very romantic, you know what I mean? It's like a sunset, ocean, and
Yeah.
dolphins and shit jumping in the fucking distance. But then the road to get there, if you look down, it's covered in shit, piss, and despair. And you're like, oh. And you have to build the motherfucking road. Like the road's covered in
Hmm.
shit and piss and blood and everything else, but you have to go and actually build the road. And you're not even sure how long it's going to take you to get there, or even if it's the right way to get there at all. But are you willing to fucking show up and just keep your head down and just keep stacking bricks, and eventually look up and you see dolphins and whales and shit, and maybe a gold medal?
Like the best day ever. Yeah. And I think we do a disservice. I think on the collegiate side, I can't really speak to private sector and maybe even professional. Honestly, I'm not sure. But I think that we've done so much and given athletes so much that it's made them entitled to the point of their despair.
Huge,
It has
huge.
made them weak-minded. It has made them physically weak. It's made them entitled. There are athletic departments that have really messed up certain athletes because of the way that they never have to experience a consequence. They
They're
never
they're
have
ter-
to
they're
actually experience
they are
life.
terrible. They've become so immune to conflict resolution
Yeah.
and consequence, and usually adversity, because it's foreign to them. Usually someone or something is solving the problem for them at this point. If they have an issue, this person will take care of that. I can't do that. It's okay.
Hmm.
They'll do that. There's not a lot of like, how do I, or it's not the perfect scenario. An example
Hmm.
was like Team Canada was in training camp in Cuba, and these motherfuckers in Cuba didn't have a fucking mat. It was mulch with a tarp, and they had holes in the roof. They didn't have shoes, and these kids were like 17 or 18 years old, and they were kicking the shit out of our freshmen, and they didn't have shoes. So you're like, these guys are doing more than us with less than us, and we have facilities and resources and everything else. These
Yeah.
motherfuckers don't even have a roof, and they just kick the shit out of us, and you're like this
Mm.
perspective, and you're just
Yeah.
like, maybe it doesn't matter. It's like, what are they doing differently? They're just doing the hard shit more often. That's all they're doing.
Yeah.
They
Their
struggle every day.
capacity for hard shit is way deeper than yours. Like
Yes, they do
their
it every day.
capacity for everything. And that's
Everything.
exactly like what I've wanted to do in my own training. Like I've tried to increase my capacity in a lot of ways in my actual training, but then in my life too. Like I want to be able to handle more all the time. Whether that's stress in my personal life, whether that's stress in my at work, whether it's just straight up just stress. Like
Yeah.
I thank goodness I am not the person that I was 2, 3, 4 years ago. Shoot, I'm not the person I was at this time last year because of the way that now I'm able to handle more. And that's my
Yeah.
goal. I want it to be absolutely ridiculous when like I want people to look at me and be like, dude, her bandwidth for to handle bullshit is just so wide. Like she can like doesn't matter. Oh, you introduced this problem to me. All right, cool. Let's figure out that nothing is that big of a deal anymore.
Yeah.
And that is freeing in every way.
Huge.
And so I'm like, I want that for the athletes, right? I want that. I want the reduced sense of entitlement. I want the increased sense of gratitude. I want them to feel like they have ownership and control because they do. Like they have so much control in their own lives. They have agency that they don't take advantage of or they give up to somebody else. They're
Hmm.
literally like they are actually hiring agents now to handle all of their bullshit because they're getting paid or whatever it is.
Oh fuck.
So you lose that in your own life, right? You lose control. You
Yeah.
now have other people telling you what to do, when to do it, how to spend your money, where you need to go play ball, where you shouldn't play ball because they're not going to pay you enough money. But you would get coached by one of the best coaches in the nation? Are you joking? Like, I know of programs who aren't paying the athletes almost anything, and they still have athletes willing to go there. Some of the best athletes willing to go there that are leaving money on the table just to get coached by the best. That is greatness, right?
Yeah.
The greatness to me isn't like, oh, the kid's getting $2 million to go to school there. Immediately, I'll probably write that off and be like,
Yeah.
I don't care. Like,
No,
that's
it's
great, and I understand that everybody has those financial decisions to make, but I think it's again that entitlement scale is just going through the roof, and it's causing problems in every way of them not knowing how to handle life,
yeah.
and that hurts me because at the end of the day, this is the generation that's coming up behind us that's gonna be doing big things, and I want them to be successful in every way.
Yeah, it's really there's a lack of autonomy now. It's become so, and people enable it too. That's a problem, right? Like coaches,
Yeah.
parents. There's a lot, not everyone, but there's a lot. There's enough that it's led to this stereotype where it's like, yes, this generation on average is more entitled because the autonomy has been enabled by. Like, there's no autonomy that's been enabled by their surrounding environment. Everyone's doing something for them, and then that leads to the question like, okay, well, that makes them feel that way all the time then, parents, coaches. And even if like coaches are trying to say like the most truthful thing, there's always someone else out of 10 expert that will say the other thing that they want to hear, and then they get easily swayed that way. So it's
Hmm.
like struggle is good for the soul, especially if you're able to facilitate it, which is no different than weight room stuff,
Yeah.
practice. Like it's good for the soul because you build that robustness and everything we talked about. But you're right. This generation has become so in inautonomous. I don't know if that's a word, but not
It sounds
autonomous.
like one.
Yeah, magneticity. That's actually a word
Sure,
I
sure.
found that in the
Oh,
dictionary. Magneticity. Yeah, I know.
wow.
I know. I learned that the other day. Motherfucker pulled
Hey,
that shit out on the floor. He's like, it's magneticity. I'm like, that's bullshit. He's
that's
like,
not a
no, it's a
word.
word. Yeah, shout out Owen Taylor. He's actually just committed to well football. That motherfucker is a
Oh
genius.
yeah.
He came out with the magneticity, and I got fucking bombed. But anyway, so not as autonomous,
Yeah.
and that's where we're kind of left with this point, right? So it's like
Yep.
you're trying to like you're trying to allow them to struggle, and you're simply facilitating the ground, like the guardrails for them to do so creatively within that, and then it's up to them. Like no one's going to save them. Like you have to be able to learn to solve problems, and like I said before, you'll fuck up less. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
Yep.
you're not asking for easy. You're not. It's a privileged problem. Like people want to be in your shoes.
Yeah.
This is a privileged problem to have. Don't ask for lighter loads. Ask for broader shoulders. Don't
Yeah.
avoidance
Right.
strategy that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you want better problems if you're a CEO, if you're a fucking
Yeah.
director, if you're the head guy. Those are privileged problems. Ask for better problems to solve. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Don't try to avoid them altogether because then you're a weak piece of shit.
Right. In, fewer words. But that
Yeah.
struggle is part of what I think the issue is that we've removed a lot of the struggle and a lot of athletes don't have to worry about anything anymore.
Yep.
So then they're not creative, then they're not problem solving, then it's someone else's problem and this stuff is just happening to me, right? Everything is just happening to me. No, you have control and you have agency. So let's figure out how to use that. And circling this back to my original point of communicating to them in the weight room, that is what I demand that they use, right? They have to take agency, they have to take control to a certain extent, because there are days I'm not going to tell them what to do. I had more than half the team come in yesterday on an off day, and they told me what they wanted. There's a broad set of guidelines. Hey, this is your capacity day, mobility day, right? There are several options that,
Yeah.
you've got to choose from. Come in and get it done. And they do. They come in, hey, I want to run today. Great. Here's what you can do. Take it. Great. Another one come in, hey, I think I just want to really work on my trunk today, right? I really want to do some core work. Great. Here's what you can do, right? Like there just becomes this flow of when they understand that they have that control and that nobody is demeaning them for taking that control, right? It's not,
Yeah.
well, you're young, you're too young. You couldn't possibly know what you need. Well, I'm the professional.
Fuck
Easy.
off.
Like,
Yeah.
calm
Fuck
down.
off.
Like, that's so, I've heard it. I've heard it said, right? Like, they'll be like, hey, why am I doing this? Because I said so. Ooh, I don't ever want to do something just because somebody said so, right? I want to see it
Yeah.
translate. I want you to be able to explain to me why I'm doing what I'm doing. So that to me, that piece of creating athletes that have agency and autonomy is letting them use it. Let them
Yeah.
use it, right? In the program, in the weight room, in the warm up, in the whatever it is, let them use that agency and autonomy to help guide you along the route because I'm still learning too. I haven't had their body. I don't know what their
Yeah.
body feels and I'm learning their movement patterns. That's great, but I can't tell them how that feels. So, learning all of those things and letting them have input into that, I think creates a more well-rounded human being. I hope that that empowers them to speak up in other realms and other circles in their life when things go wrong or things don't feel good or something doesn't feel right or they see
Yeah.
something that looks, hey, that shouldn't be happening. I'm going to speak up because they have that and they know that they can and that they should.
Yeah, they need the freedom to make mistakes. Like they need the
Without a
freedom
doubt.
to, they need the freedom to practice. And I find this too, even like when a lot of our players go to practice stuff like that, because again, there's structure, there's a practice plan, all this stuff. And if you're telling an athlete, okay, we're going to practice this drill, and they're trying to get better at that drill, right? They need the freedom to be not perfect. Like you can't. I find like you could judge them, but I don't know if it's judging is the right word. You need to allow like be a little more like this is not going to be perfect. I need them to just go through the motions, fuck up, and be able to handle that they're making mistakes and they'll get better at it. And then the other tricky part is like how do you put it into a game? Like are you willing to
Yeah.
lose? Are you willing to lose a game or a set or whatever to allow them to have real game experience trying this new drill, new skill, new play, whatever. And
Yeah.
if you're not, okay, you're limiting your toolbox a little bit. Understand that you're probably going to be as good as you can be right now. That's it. But how do you allow them? And then if you're going to punish them for it,
Yeah.
like you're going to
Not
yell at
into
them, or
that.
yeah, you're going to be like, yell, oh, like, well, you fucked up the drill. We're going to scrap it. It's like, well, you just don't fucking pick up a new thing like this. If someone's doing something a certain way, you want them to do this one approach step different. They're going to make it messy. It's going to be really messy at first, but they need the, I guess, the peace of mind or the freedom to be like, hey, I'm gonna keep trying it, and I'll make less mistakes as I go. But
Yeah.
what are you willing to sacrifice to get that? Like,
Yeah.
are you okay giving up a set to let them fuck up against real time competition? If
Right.
not, then when do they have the opportunity to? There needs to be a facilitated arena they can struggle in to get better at something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's. I
And I
think that's
think the
also
biggest
that's a
piece to
coaching
me
question.
that like falls in with that is that, and what I told the athletes at the beginning of my summer training sessions with them was that your presence is more important than your perfection, right? I would rather you be present and all here, and you're giving me what you got if you can stay present. And I have never had to re-engage these athletes ever. And that sounds crazy to say out loud, but I have them for, anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, sometimes an hour 15. And I don't ever have to be like, hey, guys, like zone back in. They're here. They're present. They are where their feet are. They're executing whatever it is I've asked them to do at a high level. And when they're done, they're cleaning up the weight room. They're cleaning up after other people. They're cleaning up after other teams. They're making sure that where they are is better than where they've been, right? And to me, that's the biggest piece is that their presence overall in this life and in training is more important than their perfection walking through it.
Be your feet are, man. Be your feet are. We'll try. All right, I got a couple lighter questions now. So, in a couple sentences, working with your volleyball players, off season, in season. Let's say you had 4 week blocks.
Mhm.
What are the themes of those blocks? Let's say you had 20 weeks. So let's say you're going off season, in season. You had 20 weeks, 4 week blocks. Go. What are the themes of each of those blocks?
Uh, Individualization within the first four, right? I'm trying to figure out what goes on. I love a good force velocity profiling. Where do you need to get better, right? And what does that look like? And that's first block, right? We do a lot of it's a lot of experimentation, I'll call it, right?
All
We
right,
want to look at that.
experimentation. Block one, experimentation.
Two,
Two,
get fucking strong.
get fucking strong.
Whatever that means for you. Wow,
I know that was crazy.
that was wild. So get fucking strong, right? Whatever that means. What that's mental fortitude, I don't care. Get fucking strong. We let's take the third block as like a it'll be in like an intensification phase, right? That's where we're like really trying to ramp up and we're trying to get we filled our buckets, right? We've come to this place of you're better than you were at the things that you were shitty at. And the things that you were really good at already, we've probably also gotten better. But the important thing was right, we're fixing the weak spots. Then we're intensifying that in that third phase. And then by the time we roll into that fourth phase, I have 5 phases, right? For
Yep.
20 weeks. Yeah, yeah. So by the time we roll into that fourth phase, we're really looking at maintenance, right? We're looking at the opportunity to maybe push a couple more things, right? There are some little things that we can tweak here and there. And then by the time we're in the thick of it, right? It's in my fifth phase. You found what you need and we're all there, right? It's I don't want to call it maintenance anymore because I think that that's the
That's a
performance. I
very
want to call it high performing sector
yeah,
because at that point we're getting a little bit different stimulus in every week based on what we need, right? What do
yeah,
we need? How many matches did we have? Do you feel good? Did you roll your ankle? Did you, whatever that looks like. So we're looking at maximizing high performance within that fifth phase, just out of necessity for the individual athlete. So
yeah,
really, if I'm being really picky, my first 3 phases are the pickiest phases where I'm gonna really try to start getting in and getting into the nitty gritty and maybe manipulating certain things more for some people than others. And then fourth and fifth phase have a lot of personal choice involved, a lot of individualization per athlete to where they get to a little bit more say in like, hey, this makes me feel really good, so I'm choosing this. Hey, for me, I may come in and say, hey, I need 12 total reps for today, whatever that looks like for you, right? Whatever that looks like, 2 sets of 6, 6 sets of 2, right? What does that feel like for you?
yeah.
And they auto regulate well enough to be able to execute at a high level and to be able to push that. And I'm just really there at that point as I want to say as training wheels, but more like a parachute, to be honest, because they're good. They can do it on their own. And I'm just there to pull back a little bit if they need it. And maybe they need a softer place to land, right? That needs to be me. That needs
Yeah.
to be somebody who can guide them into that soft landing.
Dope. That's a good answer. I like that. That was simple. See,
I
that's the whole
try.
point. Yeah, I don't like all these in-depth things. It's kind of fun to agree, but
Ugh,
it's just like what's the theme, man? Like,
ugh.
yeah, 20 weeks. Like, just break it down for me simply. Like, what are you kind of like focusing on? I hate the word maintenance too because it sounds so complacent, like low
Yeah.
level, right? It's like I like the way you say like high performing. We're just gonna call it that, but we it's just yeah, you can say it's lower volume, whatever, high intensity, but it's still
Yeah.
performing.
Maybe.
It's a performing whatever you want to fucking it's like changing your last name. If you want to change your last name to get married, just you can keep your legal last name on your documents and you could socially call yourself Mr. or Mrs. whatever. It's the
Yeah.
same shit. Whatever floats your boat. It's just fundamentally it's the same fucking shit. Okay.
Hmm.
Next one. If you weren't doing this, what would you be doing instead? I know the answer.
Yeah, you do.
Big plug.
Yeah, you do. I'm gonna open a coffee shop.
Fuck yeah.
100%.
What's gonna be called? Can we get like the scoop? What's gonna be called?
I really at this point I have my own roasting company, so I'm doing like Coach's Coffee Collective. And I love it
Nice.
just because it's just community, right? That's really all it is. And so in general, I think that's kind of where I'm leaning towards and I want to continue to have high performance involved in that, right? Whether that means that I've got my own, a gym and a coffee shop or maybe I'm
Oh,
have a
that'd be a
coffee shop where it's just
sick.
nah.
Oh, that'd be a sick. Oh, double idea, double idea. Okay,
Two,
rent a
two
space.
ideas. Okay, great.
Rent a space,
But
rent a space, right?
yeah.
Rent a space. You have a gym, and you have a coffee bar right beside it, right? You call it the grind. Oh my God, this is
Oh,
good.
look at you. Look at
This is
you.
good. This is good. This is good. This is an investor opportunity. Okay, this is
Yeah.
good. Then you have
Yeah.
high caffeine blends like AK's cup AK, AK's
AK's
cup.
Annihilator blend. Just
There you go. Okay, we're getting somewhere. This is good.
yeah.
Okay,
Oh, it's
gym,
great.
coffee
Protein
shop.
coffee. We're doing all the things, right? We're doing all the things. But
This is
that's
good.
really, at the end of the day, my I'm inclined towards community of any kind, whether that's in a coffee shop, whether that's in another gym, whether that means that I just hop around and go to other people's shops for a living and do things with other coaches. Um, but coffee just happens to be my side obsession.
So I love it. I think there's. I'm excited to see where this pans out.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know,
Give it some time.
you tell me what's going on. We'll
Okay.
fucking chat. We'll chat. We'll bounce ideas.
Can't wait.
This next section we just call it this or that. So it's like
Ooh.
just you. It's this or that. One thing or the other.
Mm.
Early morning lift or evening lift.
Early morning.
Done. Nice. Rap or rock.
Rock.
Really?
Every time.
Damn.
Rap is on all day.
I find that too. I find that too. You know, I find that rap's always on our. We have control of the radio too. Like we control the fucking
That is
radio.
kind of that is kind of crazy. No, because it just ends up being rap all day, every day. And I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I will lift in silence
You're
if it's
fucked.
if
No,
it's like
no,
truly
no, no.
silence.
That's some Kier Wenning shit, and I refuse. No, that is
Mm.
bullshit. I'm not doing none of that shit. That's some New Zealand. No, that's no. I can't. I don't want to hear myself think. I don't want to hear my heartbeat. I don't want to hear my misery. Like that's me
Sometimes I
avoiding
do.
it.
Sometimes I
Oh
do.
God.
Sometimes I'm just like, let me just cut it off and go. Or like if I'm training in my garage at the end of the day, no music. It's just hot. My dogs are usually chilling in there with me. Like we're just all in misery for about 20 minutes until they get too hot and they go inside and they leave me alone. And I think that that's really truly the some of the most peaceful moments with myself is when I'm just struggling or grinding, doing something, and it's silence.
Nope.
I
Couldn't do
know
it.
it's a little
I'm,
sick,
I'm
isn't it?
that's fucking twisted is what it is.
I
You know what I'm
know,
gonna do? I'm gonna fuck it. I take it as a personal endeavor now. I'm gonna take it upon myself to educate the youth today because they don't even know who Limp Bizkit is.
which is
I'm gonna
crazy.
I'm going. It is my responsibility. It is a responsibility I have to be able to play Limp Bizkit and fucking Godsmack because
Oh,
I am educating the youth. I'm just
you
helping
are.
them along. This is the burden I will bear. I am bettering people through
And you want to
fucking.
go freaking crazy, hit some Tool and Lamb of God, and
Oh,
just
it's like Omerta just gets so mad. It's like I want you to learn how to hate the world just a little bit, just enough.
just
Yeah.
scream from your soul.
Have you ever said, "Mom, this isn't a phase"? Fuck you, Mom. It's not a phase. Your fucking black skinny jeans. Shut up. This is bullshit. Okay, sprint or jump.
Sprint.
Oh, okay. All right. I feel like that's the thing to do now is just everyone's on the sprinting train. It's like, okay.
I personally, just because I'm vertically challenged, and so I jump, but I like to sprint. I've always liked to go fast, but in my own training, I'm gonna be honest, I don't sprint a ton. But
Really?
yeah, I know. And I probably would, but I enjoy sprinting more than I enjoy jumping, so I will make myself jump. I delved into some research with just jumping as we age. People stop jumping. People stop
Yeah, they do.
sprinting.
They do.
People stop skipping, and that's crazy. So,
Oh, you
but
listen
I
to
hold my answer.
you listen to the Stu McMillan podcast, The Human.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
had you know John Berardi? Do you know John
Yeah.
Berardi?
Yeah.
Yep. So he actually lives in the area now. He
Really?
came. Yeah, we trained his kids. Crazy, right? Awesome
That's
dude,
cool.
by the way. Like fucking,
Yeah.
he's an awesome dude. He came in and he was telling all that stuff too. And it's true. He's like, it's taboo. He's like, once you're like past it, let's say you retire from sport, what, like 25, 20, let's say on average,
Sure.
what,
Sure.
sure, mid 20s, late 20s, you retire from kind of sport. You don't really jump or sprint again. You might go to the gym and do some stuff,
Yeah.
but it's not the same thing. So it's like when you're older, what, there's like run clubs, you know, you go for
Yeah.
hey guys, let's go for a casual run. Okay, let's go for a
Mhm.
bike ride. No one says, hey, do you want to go sprint? Do you want to go like just jump on shit? You want to like just do plyometrics today? They're all like, what? Like I'm gonna blow my shit up. You know what I mean? Obviously there's a progression, but it's like there's
Yeah.
just it's so taboo. It's like you should do those things,
Yeah.
shouldn't you?
Not
Okay.
trying to be that person that like or like as a female, like get older and start jumping and have to like pee myself. Like that's not happening. Like I need to be able
No.
to jump. I need to be able to sprint. I need to be able to do things. And so I want to do it all, but I think more than anything, I prefer to sprint.
Sprint. I prefer jumping, but I also suck at sprinting, so I like to jump. I
See,
also
we're
got hops.
like,
Yeah. I got hops. I'm like 5'7". I can touch 10'4". So these
let's
motherfuckers don't.
go.
I know. Sprinting, don't time me. Um, barbell or dumbbell?
Dumbbell.
Really?
Really? I know, and I personally will train with a barbell quite a bit, but I think that as I've gotten again older, And really, just as my brain kind of goes and
You're
I try to stay
32.
creative,
32?
I'm 32 with a broken back. So, like, barbells aren't always my best friend. And loading in general has not been my best friend for the last, oh, I don't know, 5 years. As much as I love a barbell and as much as you'll still see me train with one all the time, my appreciation for dumbbells, kettlebells, and med balls, and I mean all kinds has really increased.
Yeah. It's okay, barbell. It's not you, it's me.
Yeah, it's me. It's absolutely me.
Most underrated piece of equipment in the gym. Go.
Underrated?
Most underrated piece of equipment in the gym.
Hmm. I'd give it to the kettlebells.
Really?
I'd give it to the kettlebells. And maybe that's just because I've become more creative with them myself and I never really like I'm like, oh, kettlebell, dumbbell, same thing. No, not really, right? Like I can
Yeah.
100% do and this is just me personally, right? Like I almost said bands, but then like there's a lot of stuff that people do with bands that I hate. Like I hate.
Let's put a. How do we solve the problem? Band it.
Band
Okay, let's
it.
put a
Yeah.
band on it.
No.
Yeah.
No. I don't want to do that. But kettlebells as much as I've carry, push, pull, like throw it, right? Like whatever. No, don't really throw it, but bottoms up
There's like
carries.
kids in the fucking gym. Yeet.
But I've okay, that's actually a thing though. Like I've seen people doing
Yes.
some like weird ass shit with kettlebells. So,
There's
but
some very weird shit.
I've come to appreciate them a lot more than I used to. Um, and yeah, that's my answer.
Mace training's coming back now too.
I
There's that one guy.
know.
What was that one guy's name I saw him present? He did like a mace seminar, and it was like all he did. I was like, he was just doing some
Really?
crazy swingings and shit. I was like, very popular. I think his
Yeah.
gym's called Wolf Brigade or something. I can't remember what the fuck
Oh,
his name is, but a lot of mace stuff. And I was like, oh,
damn.
this is some fucking
That's medieval.
Hawaiian ass. Yeah, that's some
Yeah.
fucking shit, man. Like, I don't know what the fuck we're doing.
Uh,
Okay, all right. Fuck, marry, kill exercises.
uh,
Fuck, marry, kill. Which one?
I'm fucking a clean.
Nice.
For sure. Fucking a clean. I'm marrying the Zercher squat.
Really? That's the
I'm
okay.
marrying a
You're
Zercher.
committing. You're
I'm
committing.
marrying a
All
Zercher.
right. Putting a ring on it.
I am putting a friggin' ring on it. I love it. And then I am absolutely killing, without a doubt, any straight bar benching.
Fucking bench press?
Straight bar bench. I hate it. I hate it so much, and I'm so terrible at it. So I make myself like mess around with it every now and then, but I hate it. Hate it.
I thought you were
Pull-ups
gonna
are in there,
say
but pull-ups would be my like one true love that probably
no.
died somewhere
I'm
along the
fucking.
way.
I'm fucking pull-ups. I'm gonna fuck pull-ups
I
all day.
love pull-ups.
Like I will fuck pull-ups all day. I'm marrying front squat. Ironically,
Gross.
I like. I don't like. You know what I mean? Like I will commit to front squat. If I'm. If today I will. Honestly, between pull. Honestly, I might change my answer. I'll fuck pull-ups, but I'll also fuck a good trap bar deadlift. I will.
Oh,
Right? What trap bar deadlift? That's like a you need to have a Saturday night. You're just going. You just need a fix. You know what I mean? A little
see, that's me
something.
with the clean. I'm like, yeah, like I gotta, like, I just
Yeah.
have to every now and then. Like, it really messes me up, but I'm like, I gotta do it. It's bad for me, but I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm doing
You're,
it
you're
anyway.
you're you're killing the bench press. Like you're
I'm
not even
killing the
like
bench press.
not even a coffee date. Like it's
I detest,
fucking.
I detest the bench press.
That's
Absolutely
crazy.
detest the bench press. And I'm either, to be honest with you, I'm marrying chin ups or Zercher squat.
Yeah.
They could be brother husbands
Yeah.
or sister
Yeah.
wives for all I care.
There
I
you go.
don't
This is
care. We're,
Utah. Yeah, this is Utah. We'll make it work.
we'll do sister wives. Bring it in.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
Everyone's gonna get along. It's gonna be fine. We'll make
Hmm.
amazing jacked babies with it. Okay, so then kill bench press. I was gonna say like I think for me like the tricep kickback, and if that's too small and remedial, I'd probably kill the hip thrust. I
Oh.
think I think I think the
Yeah,
hip
but
thrust.
but I can hip thrust 500 pounds.
Like just
I
I
don't
think the hip
care.
thrust you take the hip thrust out behind the shed and just old yeller it just fucking between the eyes. Don't
Put it
even like whisper
away.
sweet nothing. Don't even doesn't even earn sweet nothings. It's like the
No.
range of motion is too short. Just do a fucking RDL. RDLs are underrated in my opinion.
Yeah.
RDLs are fucking so underrated. So fuck
Mm.
your hip thrust and just do a fucking RDL really well. Pieces of shit.
Hold
Anyway,
on.
that's my
Just
that's my
hold
thing.
on.
Yeah, it's like front squat. You're in for the long haul, for a good time. You're calling a fucking pull up and a trap bar just to fucking feel alive again.
Feel something.
I need to feel something with Limp Bizkit. Last one. One person you'd like to have dinner with to chop it up. It could be dead or alive, historical figure, not famous person, doesn't matter. One person, dead or alive, you want to have dinner with, and why?
Oh my goodness, dead or alive? To be honest, it's got to be my grandpa, and I know that's a little like
That's wholesome.
not historical, yeah, not, but that was my guy that like got me into baseball. And growing up, he was quiet. He's everything I'm not. He was quiet. He liked to be by himself. He was just this guy that had a very, very, very much like sense of duty and passion, and like what he was going to do, he was going to go do it really well. And I wish he would have seen kind of where I got now. Like it's one of those things where you're like, he was always very proud of me. And I think if I got to have dinner with him now, it would just be really cool to be able to be just completely authentically myself with him now. Not that I wasn't growing up, but things that have happened in the past. He's been gone now 8 years, and so much has happened to me in the last 8 years that I would love to share with him and be able to just, I mean, I know his face would be lighting up and like he'd be like asking questions about, well, what is this? Well, what does that mean? Well, there's all kinds of stuff that I really miss about that. And that's the, I mean, he was the first grandparent I had to pass. So the
Yeah,
only one I've had pass actually. My other grandparents are still living, which I'm incredibly fortunate. But that'd be my answer. That's my guy.
that's your guy. Dope. That's crazy. Yeah, yeah, that's fucking. You did really good on that. That was actually impressive.
Like,
The fuck, Mary kill thing. Okay, I got that.
I know, I know. You don't have to be proud of me on that, but
That's okay. It's
it's
you.
really fun because the thing for me was like figuring out what keeps me pain free.
Hmm.
And I like that I can still grind out on the Zerchers and make it the next day. My back doesn't crush me.
There's a time where it's like Zerchers were like so shit on. I'm like, I've been
I
doing
know.
Zerchers for like years. I'm like, and it became popular again. Like Alan Bishop, all those guys, Ben
Yeah.
Prentice being popular
Yeah.
again. I'm like, and everyone's on the fucking, there's fucking horny about Zerchers now. I'm like
Cool.
you're just like, you shunned me, and all of a sudden now we're it's like Office unshunned, and you're just like,
Huh. Now you're cool
okay,
again. You're back in.
yeah, now
Everything
we're cool
happens in
again.
cycles, right?
Yeah, we're one strapping it again. That's what we're doing. We're
Ooh.
fucking one strapping it. We're fucking one strapping it again. All right. If people want to learn more about you, find out more about you, get in contact, whatever, where can they find you?
Oh man. Send
Don't
smoke
find me.
signals, I guess. Yeah, send smoke
don't,
signals. No.
don't find me.
No, Instagram's probably the easiest. I try not to be on there all the time, but I was for a long time. I was like, I'm gonna post this stuff. I'm gonna educate women about training when they're on their cycles, like doing all this stuff. I got so tired of it so fast. So Instagram's great. Shoot, my email is just ashk@lsu.edu. Shoot me an email. Shoot me a text. I don't know if you have my number. If you're brave enough to message me and ask me for it, I'll probably give you my work number and hack it up.
Wow. I remember like one of our guests said, how do you get in contact? They're like, don't contact me. I'm just
Don't.
like,
I
I'm
don't want to
like,
talk to any of you.
yeah. He's like, thanks for having me on. Like, do not contact me though. It's
Oh,
like,
that's funny. No, see,
I'll
that's my
read it.
thing. I freaking love a good chat, good conversation. And if anything in this life, if I can make somebody's life easier, better, or like just make them laugh for a little bit, I'm down for that.
It's chill, man. It's so simple. It's hard. All right, guys. This is the Performance Matters podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Big thank you to Coach AK from LSU. Roll Tigers. Follow us on
Whoa.
right YouTube, Spotify, Apple. We're all on the fucking platforms. We're that cool. So tune in, like, subscribe, and we'll see you all next time.